All right, can any of these things reignite the shares and or justify the 28 times forward multiple, Tim?
I doubt it, but again, we've been surprised before. I think the bar is so low has been noted, and I think the dynamic with China is something that, if anything, maybe there's a little bit of positive here in the last couple of days in terms of overall China trade. The competitive nature for Apple and China, I think their best days are behind them. I think their best days for them in AI or Apple Intelligence are ahead of them, and I think that's part of why I'm relatively bullish. I hate the valuation. I think some of the concerns on the regulatory front are overdone. I think the dynamic around services, the dynamic around where we're going to be, ultimately the way they are going to be, how AI is distributed amongst, I think, most people in the world. I still believe that. I own the stock. I don't expect much.
The best days of Apple Intelligence have to be ahead of them because there haven't been any days so far. There are, right,
okay,
exactly.
Bring it on. But that's kind of my point, too.
Do you wait in a 28 times forward multiple stock for those days to come?
Yeah, so here's where I think Apple was dumb like a fox. What's the saying? Something like that. But when you look back,
Sly like a fox?
No idea what you're talking about.
Sly like a fox.
No, because it's supposed to be an ironic thing. But so if you go back to the DeepSeek headline, the rest of the Mag 7 names traded off precipitously lower. Apple was up 2 to 3% within the first week and outperformed a month out. What kills Apple is China, tariffs, Trump talking about making the product here. But everything that killed the others is Apple's strength. They haven't invested in AI. So that's their tailwind, that they haven't spent $86 billion. They could just do sort of a plug-in for AI with Perplexity. That's where I think you're going to get a tailwind. And so negative the story has been, I think it's due for a bounce.
Yeah, I tend to agree in terms of your patience, in terms of them being able to deliver on Apple Intelligence because they haven't had the robust CapEx spend. I think if we were in this situation and they still hadn't been able to deliver and they had spent $50, $60, $70 billion, then I 100% absolutely agree. Like there's really not much upside there. The other thing is like the tariffs and local manufacturing. These are all challenges that everyone else is also facing. There is some idiosyncratic risk in terms of them not being able to really lean into the India build-out that they had, that was like kind of like their first pivot. So there is some idiosyncratic risk, but we're all dealing with the whole tariff thing. I think what you want to see out of this WWDC conference is them addressing developers, because the ruling about processing and fee circumvention for developers, they still need to establish themselves as being the preeminent place where developers come and where they can continue to have that service engine on that robust user install base. I think that's really the one thing. I think anything else as it pertains to Apple Intelligence is likely upside for the reasons that we all stated.
And they're going to have to do that at some point, right? I mean, realistically, you're going to have to stay up with the times because it will go by the wayside. I mean, BlackBerry used to be the phone we all had, and then Apple came in. And if they don't have some sort of artificial intelligence, you're going to see someone like an OpenAI who makes that AI device, and it could take over. And that's really what investors are a little worried about. When you look at it and its valuation, I mean, Apple trades about 28 times next year's earnings, which isn't that dissimilar than NVIDIA at like 29 times. When you look at sales going forward, it's like 4 times sales growth over the next 12 months for Apple versus like, what is it, 40-something times for NVIDIA? I mean, it's a huge discrepancy. So when you're looking at slowing growth, they're losing share in China. They don't have an AI story. They have to get that at some point, or their valuation isn't going to be justified.
Services is growing at 23%. In the last couple of years, it was only growing at 10%. By the way, it's crazy like a fox. That's what I was thinking.
All right.
So services is probably...
I would not have even gone back to it. I mean, we'd moved past that one,
Let it go.
I wanted to prove that I could recapture it 7 minutes later.
Exactly. A completely non-appropriate.
Non sequitur.
Okay.
Non sequitur. But services is what you're paying for Apple and the $2.35 billion installed base.
It's a utility.
It's what?
It's a utility.
It could be a utility, but I think they haven't wasted money. To Bonawyn's point, they haven't wasted that money yet. So eventually, when they do it, it's going to be a hell of a more efficient spend than the others have done.